Hey there, gamers, and welcome to Critical Damage, Emerson's only video game show. I'm your host, Piper Hall, and today, for our last episode of the season, we will be discussing the ways that older games can reach a more modern audience. And for a lot of games, this is done through remakes and remasters. Now, a remake is when a game company completely revamps their game, often with better controls and graphics. You could almost consider these games a brand new game. Think the Resident Evil series. And a remaster is simply when a company updates one of their game's graphics, and often this is done so that the game can play better on a new platform or console. Think The Last of Us. But are these remakes and remasters just a way for game companies to prey on our nostalgia? In fact, I bought the Life is Strange remaster when it came out, but haven't even played through it entirely because I've already played the original one multiple times. But do the changes to the game in the remaster justify me forking over another $60 or so on a game I've already played? And is there another, better way for these companies to improve their games? Today, I will be joined by JR and Aiden to determine whether or not this remake and remaster craze is worth the hype. So JR, I wanted to start off and ask, what are your thoughts on remakes?
This is such a complicated issue because there's so many great remakes that actually do so much to benefit the story and the community. Like you said, Resident Evil, I feel like is the perfect example of a remake because when Resident Evil 1 came out, it just completely changed the game in terms of remakes. It was a drastic improvement in graphics over not that long of a time period, and the story is so much different. And then when they changed and remade Resident Evil 2 and 3 a good decade and a half later, they were even more game-changing because they changed the camera perspective, they once again changed the stories. Resident Evil 2, I feel like, is the epitome of what a remake can be. Say what you will about Resident Evil 3, I personally enjoyed it. It was a very reductive one, but it still had so many shining good elements to it.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that the story changes. Is that something that happens a lot in these remakes?
I feel like not to the extent that Resident Evil 2 did it, where they will just tweak things, really, because a remake, in the most common sense, is just you're making the graphics, you're making the game easier to play, and you're making the graphics better to look at. So it's not a necessary step for a remake, but I mean, if the story is an improvement and it's still good, then it's a welcome change.
Yeah, makes sense. So what do you think about the remakes, or do you prefer remasters?
I would say in general, I prefer full-on remakes. I love seeing these worlds that I grew up with completely rebuilt for the modern age, better controls, better graphics. As far as off the top of my head, one of the most notable ones in recent memory is the Final Fantasy VII remake. That was announced in late 2015 and took 5 years to come out, I believe. It released in 2020, and it just totally changed everything about the Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy VII specifically as a franchise, in my opinion, because the gameplay has been completely altered from a turn-based RPG to now an action RPG, and yet it still kind of has that core of what made Final Fantasy VII so special, at least the first third of it. But it offered a way for, one, old fans to revisit this classic and enjoy it in a new way, and also introduced new fans to the genre or the franchise, and maybe incentivize them to even play the original.
So do you think that these remakes and remasters are made for the people who played the game before, or do you think it's more so to bring in a new audience?
I think a lot of people criticize remakes for pandering for nostalgia. I'm actually of the firm belief that they are made for new players. Most remakes are categorically going to be marketed for brand new players, people who have never picked up this franchise before, and they're doing that by releasing the best of the best. You're not seeing remakes of games that didn't sell well, weren't well critically, but we are seeing them of generational classics like Resident Evil 4 and Final Fantasy VII. Even though, hypothetically, remakes would probably benefit the most from being on games that weren't panned well critically due to camera controls of the past or regular controls. Those are the games that a lot of people would say could use a remake, but you're not going to see them because they're being sold to a new market. They want to introduce new people to their best work with a remake.
I wonder if there are some games out there that I would have loved if they'd only been remade or remastered so that I could play them on my PlayStation or Switch or something like that.
Mhm.
Now, do you guys think that, what do you think is worth the $60 price tag that most games are, or even more? Is a remaster or a remake worth forking over another $60, $70, $80 for a game that you might have already played before?
I think I think it's about the amount of effort put into it. Like $60, video games are really expensive, and I don't even normally think that a $60 price tag is justified. So it has to have so much like effort and care shown. I really want to know and see in the game that the developers aren't just doing this as a cash grab, but have so much love and admiration for this game, and that they want to introduce it to a new audience and also bring back the old fans who love the game so much. So I feel like it has to be a combination. The audience needs to be both the new people, but also they want to have a lot of attention towards the old player base as well.
And so do you think these remakes and remasters, do you think they're like a safer play for these game companies than, let's say, making a sequel? Because sometimes I feel like I would rather have a sequel than to just play the same game I've already played before.
I think remakes and remasters are always going to be a good thing. They're good for game preservation. They're good for introducing, like I said, fans to the best work of a certain franchise. But I know what you mean. Specifically, I can remember in 2018, this was the second year of the Switch, we got almost nothing but remakes, remasters, and ports for the entire year, and it was a bit of a slog. We had just come off of one of the best years in gaming, and we had like bestsellers like Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and a ton of others, to a port of Captain Toad, a port of Donkey Kong Country, a port of Hyrule Warriors, back to back.
What's a port?
A port is essentially just taking a game that's on one platform and re-releasing it on another with very minimal changes. At times you could consider upscaling to be considered a remaster or the job of a port, but it fluctuates. It's difficult because a lot of these terms, remake, remaster, port, they kind of overlap with one another. There isn't really a clear dichotomy of which is which. So it really just depends on each player's opinion to determine which is which.
I feel like with that, the most clear-cut definition of a remaster is we're kind of in this transition period right now between last-gen consoles and the current. And we do see, like, Last of Us 2 just got a remaster recently.
They've
announced it.
that they're going
Yes,
to have
and
one.
that one's weird because it was also like already available on PS5, and
it came out in 2020.
Yes, exactly. But we are in a time period right now where the video games that were released on last-gen consoles, even pretty recently, are getting remasters that don't really change a lot except the updated graphics, because we have these cool new systems that can do so much, and they really want to show that through those.
But are they really changing them that much? I know we were talking earlier that there's a scene in the Last of Us, the first one, the remaster, where the only difference is that a light bulb is off or on.
Yeah, that went pretty viral on Twitter a couple of days ago, and it just, the graphics, they're often like, especially when we're talking about the ones that have just recently come out, like in the last like 8-ish years, where the graphics are so good and they don't do enough to utilize these new functions that they really look identical.
So do you think maybe more changes to a remake or a remaster would justify like a higher price point?
Maybe more time. More time in between the original game and the remaster. As new technologies are constantly being discovered for video games, we're developing these things. So it would be the more stuff that you have to improve on and the more things at your disposal, that would really improve them.
So you'd pay more for a, let's say, an Until Dawn remaster than a Last of Us remaster.
Don't wave that in front of my face.
I know,
I need
I would
that
love
so
that.
much. I would love that so much.
All right. So do we think that these games are an addendum or a replacement to the original games? Can you play the older version and the newer version?
I would say they're an addendum. I think it's important to have both versions available, both for the sake of game preservation, the sake of variety, especially when these remakes are going to be changing the core or gameplay elements of these originals. It's important to have both available for multiple reasons. A big one could be price. The remakes are usually going to be charged for $60 or even $70. In The Last of Us Part 1's case, $70 for a remaster. Or you can have a port. What's a good example? Last January, we got the Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden ports on all platforms. These games were only available on the PS2 and the PS Vita, and they were brought to all platforms with a remaster upscale for $20 a pop. And I think that's a good choice, even though Persona 3 is now getting a remake in February.
Really?
So that was an interesting choice. I feel like that could have been more of a cash grab, at least with the Persona 3 aspect of it.
So
but
you'd
it's good
prefer
though.
a sequel in that, or I guess not a sequel, a quadruple?
Just a fourth, I think.
A fourth game.
I think in that aspect, I still like to have it. I think it's a good thing in general to have these games available. Whether or not they were already available on said platform is kind of the big difference maker. I think having the Horizon Complete Edition of the first game remastered, that's coming soon. The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, these feel a little more redundant because they're already available on said platform. But game preservation always comes first, in my opinion. I think these games should be available in as many ways as possible.
And I've got to add, what do you guys think about the fan game scene? Do you think that is the answer to this remake remaster? Maybe skip that altogether and just have fans contribute what they want to see in these games?
I mean, yes and no, because fan games ultimately don't have the resources,
the budget yeah.
to make these AAA games and to really update them as well. The fan-made games, I feel like they work better in modding and making original stories based off existing IPs and things. But when you get a remake, I feel like unless something goes horribly wrong with the remake, which is usually the case, a company-made remake and an original, the original company remaking it, will usually be better than a fan-made one and just have more growth.
All right, so what do you guys think? You want a sequel or a remake in general?
In general, I would say new is going to be better. I think sequels that expand upon the original in new and creative ways will probably always be the primary focus. But as I mentioned prior, preservation is key. Remakes for new audiences, remakes to please fans of old games. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door getting a full-on remake. I cried at that announcement. So it always makes everyone happy to see their favorite games brought back into the modern light. But I think sequels should always, or sequels or new IPs should always be the priority.
I think it's kind of similar to the Disney movie thing that's happening now, where we're just getting remakes of everything, and I feel like I would prefer something new or a sequel.
I'm a Resident Evil fan, so I don't have to choose, which is really great.
You want all of it.
I get all of them. 5's on the way and 9. I'm greedy. I'm loving
and
this.
And the VR ports too.
And the VR ports. And just do what Resident Evil does is the final thing. But actually, I would say that I do prefer sequels because I love new additions to stories I already love.
All right.
And I love those continuations.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you two for joining me, and I think it's about time to send it over to Will and Sarah for our First Frame News. Take it away, guys.
Hi, I'm Sarah Devereaux.
And I'm Will Motter.
Welcome to First Frame, where we give you the latest and greatest gaming news.
Bungie, a studio that gained notoriety through developing the Destiny games and some early Halo games, is the latest studio to be undergoing massive layoffs. With dozens of people losing their jobs, people like former community manager Liana Rupert wrote she was, quote, devastated, end quote, on her website. Employees were left confused and frustrated, including longtime Bungie veteran Michael Salvatore, composer of Halo and Destiny games, who confirmed his layoff by changing the description on his website to, quote, gone fishing, end quote.
Have you ever been on a voice call with someone and they start eating the loudest snack they could find in their house, and you're wearing headphones and all you can hear is their crunching? Well, Doritos has come up with a solution. They trained an AI with people talking and crunching on Doritos to create a software called Doritos Silent. that will silence the loud crunching on any microphone. It's currently free to download on Doritos' website.
A new clinically designed app named Endeavor OTC has been released, focusing on treating symptoms of adults' ADHD. With a shortage on stimulant medication for people with ADHD, Endeavor seeks to make their game more accessible as an option in improving neurodivergent habits. With a staggering $25 a month or $130 a year, seems like they have a long way to go.
Just Dance 2023 is the most accessible Just Dance has ever been. The menu has larger text and the colors are colorblind accessible. The dances themselves also have options that are accessible for everyone. This includes choreography that has minimal floor work or jumping. There's also a mode where players can dance while seated. This is going to ensure that everyone can join in while playing Just Dance.
And on January 19th, The Last of Us Part 2 is getting remastered. Naughty Dog has sparked some discourse about why exactly they are releasing 5 games in 10 years, with 3 of them being remasters. Are they just cashing in and getting people to buy the same game twice? And does a new roguelike mode justify that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Zelda fans are asking many questions after an announcement was made by Zelda creator and game developer Shigeru Miyamoto that a live-action Zelda movie is in the works. Nintendo is partnering with Sony Pictures to distribute the movie, as well as working with screenwriter Derek Connolly and producer Avi Arad. This has made many fans of the Zelda series concerned because Avi Arad has produced Morbius. Fans are also worried about who will play their favorite characters, where the movie will fit in with the storyline, and the overall quality of the movie. We'll just have to wait and see how that pans out.
And by the time this episode is airing, the Game Awards will be finished. Every year, all types of industry members come together to celebrate excellence in the video game world via the Game Awards. Nominees for Game of the Year include Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and Super Mario Wonder, though I can say with absolute certainty that I voted for Baldur's Gate. If it didn't win, it's fine. I'll just be bawling that a Dungeons & Dragons game didn't get the recognition it deserved. No pressure.
Now let's talk about our indie game shout-out. Here are some of our new favorites.
Lethal Company, a co-op horror game by Zeekers, where you and your crew scavenge for scraps to sell, all the while avoiding dangerous creatures unknown.
The Last Faith, a gothic Souls-like Metroidvania by Kimi Souls Games, where you enter an unforgiving world of dark monsters and beasts and make sure that nothing can stand before you.
Sanabi, a fast and stylish dystopian action platformer by Wonder Potion, where you play as a war veteran with a grappling prosthetic arm, zipping around and crushing corporate menaces.
Nobody Saves the World, a dungeon-crawling masterpiece by Drinkbox Studios, where you transform into various creatures ranging from slugs to dragons and work to save the world.
And that's it for us here at First Frame. If you haven't already, go out and play some of these indie games. Now for our variety segment.
Thanks, Will and Sarah, and welcome back. Now, here at Critical Damage, we try our best to link our discussions to our variety segment, but we also realize that it is important for us gamers to find love. It's hard being single out there, and although many people on our Critical Damage team have found love, not all of us have found our player too. So today, us hosts intend to rectify that by helping our lovely writer and host, JR here, find his one true video game love. Each of us have been assigned video game characters that have swiped right on our Bachelor JR here. We'll be telling JR all about these characters' interests, hobbies, and what they're looking for in a relationship. However, we will not be giving away their name or the game they come from. JR will blindly pick one of the 4 characters and will reveal the bachelors and bachelorettes he passed on. We'll be doing this for 2 rounds, and then the final 2 characters will face off to be chosen as JR's player number 2. So welcome to the Critical Damage Bachelor.
So excited.
You
Okay,
ready?
let's get started. Piper, you go first.
All right, well, this character is 20 years old. They're 5'2". They like, hanging out with their friends, going to parties.
They
just really,
have friends, that's good.
Yeah, they have friends. It's like just, your typical college sort of lifestyle, right? They also know how to fix cars. So if you ever get in a jam, that will be pretty good. Now, they dislike werewolves and idiots.
Twins. Eat.
So you two might be perfect.
Yeah, do not rock with the idiots.
All right, so 5 words they use to describe themselves are loud, friendly, intelligent, sarcastic, and caring. And they're looking for something fun with someone who isn't an idiot.
Okay, so immediately I thought it was Luigi from the Cars franchise until you mentioned werewolves. 5'2", red flag for me. Do you think that they would be insecure about their 5'2" status?
Definitely not.
Okay.
They're pretty cool and they can handle themselves in a fight.
We love that. We love that. Okay, Aiden, who do you got for me?
Our bachelor here is 35. They are a solo entrepreneur, translator, and cartographer.
Oh, damn.
They like gemstones and to travel, balloons, butterflies, and fairies. They dislike being broke, prison,
Real.
and their father.
Oh,
5 words to describe them are whimsical, extravagant, self-confident, angelic, and a crafts worker. And they're looking for a beautiful fairy to call their own.
wow, that's a lot of information, and I don't know. Gemstones, do you think that they would be, do you think that they like the beach?
They love the beach.
That's amazing. I love the beach too. Okay, Will.
Okay, you're gonna like this one. They are 30s, also 5'2",
Oh,
an intelligence researcher. They like video games, fitness, and romance, and they dislike romantic music, the color green, and aliens. 5 words to describe themselves: romantic, family-oriented, gregarious, good, and party animal. And I'm looking for the love of my life.
not rocking with how many 5'2s you have for me here. That's right off the bat, not liking my potential suitors.
I didn't want to.
I would say, okay,
But you gotta love a good height difference, you know?
that's too much. That's too much. I'm wearing platforms right now, so it would be even more.
Okay.
So, okay, I'd say my question should be, why do you think they don't like the color green? That's such like a fun color to not.
It
well,
is.
they dislike aliens.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh.
paranormal. I think it breeds, mysteriousness, and they don't like.
You know
that.
who else dislikes aliens? Freddy Fazbear.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I think that is. Okay.
All right, I think you'd like this person. So there's
Everybody said that, but we've got 2 5'2s so far. So
this person is 6'1",
okay. We're rolling.
and
We're
they
rolling.
like rock and roll, freedom, and anarchy.
Who
And
I think it is.
And they're-
Is this who I think it is?
I have no idea. Dislikes the government, capitalism, and being ignored.
So this is exactly who I think it is, and I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay.
How old are they?
34 or 88?
34 or 88? Okay, so that is exactly the question that I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Johnny Silverhand. That's exactly who I think it is, and I'm so confident, and I'm gonna say, whoever that is, Johnny Silverhand. I'm gonna go with him for the first round. Okay. Next round,
We gotta
next
show
group
you
of
our-
people.
Oh yeah, you need to know
Oh yeah.
passed on.
Do I know now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Show off.
Oh, I get to. All right.
All right, so this is a character from a game that probably not a lot of people know, but I know that we both know it. This is Caitlin Kaw.
Caitlin! Oh my
from
God.
The Quarry,
I love
aka
her.
London Tipton.
I killed you in my playthrough, and I'm so sorry. She's 5'2".
She's 5'2".
Wow. Okay. Interesting information.
So I specifically withheld the height based on your reaction to the last one.
So another short one?
This is Tingle from The Legend of Zelda. He is 4'2". But he has plenty of other redeeming qualities for his next.
Okay.
You're missing out, you know?
Yeah.
I think I'll pass respectfully. Actually, disrespectfully. No. Bye.
This character's from a game franchise you probably haven't heard of. This is Bella Goth from The
I
Sims.
was thinking Bella Goth because I know way too much about Bella Goth's alien abduction lore, and I was like, that's Bella Goth. That is Bella Goth
There it is,
right there.
to a T.
Again, 5'2". Okay, so
So sorry.
You have to keep mine hidden.
I know, but I'm respecting. So you got the good one because simply of the height. You won based off. I'm pretty sure I know who that is, but you won based off height alone. Okay, next round, peeps. Let's do this.
All right, this next one, I think I would pick myself.
Okay.
So they're 32 and they are 6'2".
Ooh, okay.
Their occupation is that they're a warrior. Now, they
Ooh.
like kindness, family, and romance.
Okay.
And they dislike cowardice, devils, and cruelty. So 5 words they'd use to describe themselves are passionate, honest, strong, hot-headed, and friendly. And they're looking for a steamy relationship with someone special.
Okay. I feel like there's only one question I can ask here. What is their karaoke song?
Oh my gosh, it would definitely be something, I think, Britney Spears.
Ooh, okay. Like a Gimme More, like a Toxic. Like,
Toxic.
ooh, okay. I'm vibing with that. I love that. Okay. Aiden, who do you got for me?
This bachelor is 27. He is 6'7".
Oh, okay, so this round is going way better.
They're a first-class soldier and aspiring god.
Don't know how I feel about the military.
They like causing destruction and chaos and tormenting his former ally.
Oh.
They dislike their former ally, mankind in general, and greedy corporations.
Oh, okay, so yay for anti-capitalism. I support that. But seems like they're not a trustworthy person. Can I trust this person?
Well, 5 words to describe them are intelligent, confident, loyal, well-spoken, and sadistic.
Oh, okay, so
But
I'm not...
would they be loyal to you?
I'm not getting that
They would
vibe.
be
I
loyal
feel like
to
they're
you.
loyal to themselves. It sounds like they have a
would
lot
be
of
loyal to
baggage.
you.
Sounds like maybe we'll need to revisit that after like a year of therapy.
If they have a strong connection, they are loyal to you. And they are looking for someone to watch the world burn with.
I don't
almost
like
Regina
that.
George.
Regina George, yeah. Hey, Regina. Interesting.
6'7" though.
But that's also really tall. So we're in like the 6'2" is where I'm at right now.
Okay, you're gonna love this bachelor. They are 6'1", perfect height.
Perfect.
50 to 60, kind of older. That's okay though. They're a scientist though.
Ooh.
They're very smart. They like robotics, myself,
Oh, yay.
aeronautics,
Okay.
and power.
Oh.
They dislike losing and stupidity, so you guys can get along. 5 words.
Wait, I just like going stupid there for a second, then I realized. No, okay. We got it. I'm understanding. I'm up to par. We're
You can get
understanding.
along. Oh my God, can you imagine? 5 words to describe themselves: genius, gifted, extravagant, eloquent, and formidable.
A lot of narcissists and people who I don't feel like are nice people in this batch. The heights have improved. The kindness has gone way down.
My person likes kindness.
Okay, so
They
you're
take
real.
up space and they know their worth.
Okay.
Is what I'm talking about. And they're looking for a partner in the lab and in life.
Aw, that's kind of sweet. Okay, do you feel like your character is a fan of the Twilight series?
I think they tell everyone that it's preposterous and then like idolizes it. Like has a secret room where they have an idol to Robert Pattinson.
So they're a liar. Is that what I'm hearing? That they are a liar. Okay.
I have no
All right.
excuse.
Last, make this good. You won last time.
I mean,
I'm counting.
we got
on you.
another person who's 6'1".
Okay.
So I know
the heights
you-
are amazing this round. The heights
This
are
person
amazing.
also likes freedom, but also family and painting. They dislike violence, rejection, and chaos. 5 words to describe themselves: leader, pacifist, revolutionary, compassionate, and independent. And they are looking for someone to change the world with.
What was the height again?
6'1".
Okay, so that's good. That's
Good heights.
Okay,
Wow.
I
so
think you're feeling chaotic today though.
no, right off the bat, you two are out. I'm so sorry. Bye. Red flag. Red flag. Red
You're
flag.
saying right now you're gonna
Okay.
regret this.
Yeah, I agree. You could fix it.
What? Okay. What's a good question to ask? Favorite? What do you think this character's favorite color is?
Like a purple or blue.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What do you feel like your character's favorite color is?
Red.
Red. Ooh, this is so hard. I think I will go with Piper.
All right, good choice.
Okay, okay.
You're missing out. I think you could
Yeah.
have fixed them.
I don't want to do that!
It's Sephiroth.
Oh,
Final
okay.
Fantasy.
A little pale.
A little
And,
bit.
my guy, is Dr.
Of
Eggman.
course.
From
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it's
Love the
perfect.
mustache.
You know, I was gonna say Silver Fox, but I didn't want to lie. He's not
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah. You don't want to lie like he's a liar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Real. Okay.
You missed out on Marcus from Detroit Becoming
Oh,
Human.
deep cut. I love that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Missed
Robot
out.
Jesus. Okay.
All right, so now you two are a team,
All right.
and we're a team. And we gotta get
Yeah.
ready.
Okay. So,
As ready as I'll ever be.
As ready as you'll ever be. Okay, so do you have any more questions for us?
okay. So I got my fellow two Swifties right here. What do you feel like a Taylor Swift song to describe your character, this character?
Oh my gosh, wait, okay.
Anti-hero.
The first thing that came to mind was Invisible String.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like that. That's a great one. Okay.
I'm scared I'm gonna be off, but I'm gonna say did something bad.
Okay, wait. Wait, I forgot that I actually am really certain I know who that is. I have no idea who your character is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Do you think that this person is allergic to grass?
No.
No?
They love
grass.
They
Very
love
okay.
the outdoors.
They love the outdoors. That's great.
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like this person's insecure about their height?
No.
They're tall, but I
100%.
I don't
I
think
need to
so.
They own it, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely do.
They're so
Okay.
confident. They're so confident.
I want to know more about yours, so I think I need to ask. Favorite flavor of macaroon? Macaron, I forgot how you pronounce it. Favorite flavor?
I'd want to say, probably they really love nature, so I
Okay.
think it would probably like, you know those lavender ones?
Oh, I was gonna, ooh.
I think
Oh, I
that-
love those. A good like honey lavender, vanilla lavender.
Yes.
That's my favorite. Okay.
Punk flavor?
Punk flavor. Hey, what do you think punk flavor tastes like?
Death
Rock.
by chocolate.
Yeah. Death by chocolate.
Death by
there you go.
chocolate.
Thank you for the
Okay.
save.
I mean,
It's time for you to pick.
I know, and I'm so sorry, but we already knew. The game was over before it began. I'm gonna have to go with. Who is it? Who is it?
Well, don't you want to know? who
Yeah,
you
you gotta
passed
know.
Oh,
on?
okay. I guess
yeah.
I'll have to wait.
All right, you passed on the absolute mommy. That is Carlac
I
Cliffgate.
have no idea who that is.
This is from Baldur's
She's
Gate
awesome.
3.
I love her hair.
She is the best. She's literally on fire though, so that might
Oh.
prove a little difficult, but
Yeah.
I think you can make it work.
I think I could have.
But
made that work.
unfortunately, she's just for me now.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mwah.
Okay.
All right.
Who is it?
And the grand reveal, Johnny Silverhand.
We all do.
Yes.
Literally
all
clawing
do.
at the walls.
Kind of an amazing part.
I won.
Yeah.
You won, but I won.
I
This
think
is-
we won.
We won.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We
Collectively.
vibed on like a
Let me
deeper level.
Are you sure you don't
Please
want?
do.
Bachelor.
You don't want like Dr. Eggman? He'll still take you.
I think he'll take
gets the
anybody.
rose.
He reeks of desperation.
No,
he's very
we go.
good.
Yeah, but that green guy,
Tingle?
I'm really offended.
that was a
He
close
owns
second,
his
right?
own business across multiple worlds.
I'm offended by that you suggested that.
I didn't suggest it.
But okay, I won in the end. We all won.
All right, so congratulations to Johnny Silverhand, the winner of The Bachelor. I hope you two go on a wonderful date and
It will be
honeymoon
amazing.
and wedding. I mean, I know you are ready to plan some weddings.
I
It's
love
time to
planning
plan.
weddings.
Yes.
Probably gonna be in his style, nuking a building because that's what he loves to do.
So
Yeah.
romantic.
All right. Well, I wanted to thank you all for joining me this season on Critical Damage, and thank you for taking me in as your new host. And I want to thank all of you guys for being such great hosts and writers, and everyone here at the studio. I love you all. So thank you all so much for watching Critical Damage, and I love you too, audience. Don't forget that. I guess we will see you next season. Bye, gamers.